Today, we're diving into a scenario that honestly feels like it's pulled straight out of a sci-fi movie. But the crazy thing is, it's happening right now in the real world. We're going to unpack a highly revealing experiment, giving artificial intelligence full, unhindered control over a human job for 7 entire days. Just imagine that for a second. Handing over the keys to your livelihood, stepping back, and just letting the machine take the wheel. We'll navigate the exact steps taken, the pretty dramatic roadblocks hit along the way, and the ultimate lessons learned about what AI can and absolutely cannot do in a real-world working environment.
So what if you could replace your entire job with AI? I mean, it's the ultimate dream for so many of us, right? No boss breathing down your neck, no fixed hours tying you to a desk from 9 to 5, and theoretically, absolutely zero stress. But we have to ask, is that actually a reality? Or is it just the massive wave of hype we see every single day on our feeds? We constantly hear about how AI is going to do all our work for us, but this experiment decided to actually put that massive claim to the test. The goal was simple, but incredibly ambitious. See if AI could truly provide that hands-off, completely autonomous digital life.
Okay, let's dive into this. To actually test this, the creator of the experiment set up some incredibly strict rules. They wanted to make sure this wasn't just some half measure. Rule number 1, absolutely no manual work allowed. None. The AI had to handle everything from making the money, to completing tasks, to managing the daily workflow. The human was only allowed to act as a high-level manager, essentially just relaying commands from the top down. And to pull this off, they hooked together a tech stack using ChatGPT for the planning and writing, specialized AI video tools for creating the actual content, and automation software to tie all that busy work together. The whole point was to see if these tools could truly act like a full-time independent employee.
So, the clock starts. Day 1. And honestly, looking at the initial results, it seemed like an absolute miracle. The prompt was super simple. Plan my full work schedule and income strategy. And within 60 seconds, the AI delivered what looked like pure gold. It generated this massive list of content ideas, it built out a really comprehensive posting schedule, and it even mapped out detailed monetization plans. You'd instantly think, great, I'm retiring on a beach tomorrow. The expectations were just through the roof right out of the gate. It looked like the perfect start. Or, so it seemed.
Well, that day 1 euphoria, yeah, it definitely didn't last. By days 2 and 3, the whole system just hit a breaking point. The illusion completely shattered. The AI began repeating the exact same ideas it had already pitched. It was entirely missing the nuanced context of the project, and honestly, worst of all, it started giving wildly unrealistic steps. Like, for example, the AI confidently suggested just make viral videos, which, sure, great advice, right? Except when pressed on how exactly to get those viral views, the AI had absolutely zero practical execution strategy. It was all just surface-level buzzwords with no real foundation, which obviously led to total confusion.
And this breakdown reveals an absolutely crucial concept, the AI reality gap. You see, during day 3, the experimenter tried pushing the AI even harder, feeding it a really vague, ambitious prompt like, make me money online automatically, and the result? Just more generic, completely unusable advice. The AI reality gap is this stark realization that AI can think, or, well, simulate thinking, and it can generate incredibly convincing text, but it doesn't truly understand reality. It completely lacks the practical, boots-on-the-ground execution skills that a human brings to a problem. It knows the what, but it totally fails at the how. And by this point in the week, severe doubts about the entire experiment were definitely setting in.
But right when the whole experiment was teetering on the edge of total failure, a pivotal realization hit. And it's this: AI works best when humans guide it properly. Treating the AI like some autonomous boss who could figure everything out on its own was a total disaster. The strategy had to completely shift. The AI literally needed to be demoted from the CEO role and reassigned. It needed to become a coworker.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happens when you ask an AI to just do everything. The system completely falls apart. It feels random, it generates generic, boring content, and it's just noise. And we actually see this exact same thing with AI hosts as well. AI hosts work best when they don't try to do everything. They absolutely need a clear job and a clear personality. Otherwise, they feel totally random, and viewers lose interest almost immediately. The exact same rule applied to this experiment. To succeed, the AI had to be given a highly specific persona. When you shift to a clear persona AI, where it acts as a specialized coworker, the output totally transforms. It becomes highly structured, realistic, and deeply engaging. It really needs that tight focus to keep anyone's attention.
So this realization sparked a massive pivot for days 4 through 6, the coworker strategy. Step 1, stop asking the AI to do everything. Just stop. Step 2, change the fundamental prompt from do this for me to improve my work. Instead of letting the AI generate scripts out of thin air, the human provided the core ideas and used the AI to speed up the content creation and organize those thoughts. The AI was finally put to work doing what it actually excels at, improving existing scripts and automating the boring, repetitive tasks. And let me tell you, this structured approach changed absolutely everything. The AI was no longer a failing replacement, it became a profoundly powerful support tool.
And this brilliantly illustrates the complete emotional and practical roller coaster of this entire 7-day arc. I mean, we started with that euphoric perfect start on day 1, only to crash incredibly hard into the reality gap by day 3 with entirely generic, unusable output. But that failure is exactly what forced the day 5 coworker pivot, where the humans stepped back in to provide structure and personality. Which finally leads us to day 7, amplified efficiency. The breakdown wasn't the end of the experiment, it was actually the necessary catalyst to figure out how humans and machines are actually supposed to collaborate.
Which brings us to the final day, and the final verdict of our explainer today. Did AI actually replace the human job? The definitive, shocking truth is a resounding N. It absolutely required human guidance, human context, and a human to give it a specific persona. But did AI amplify the work? Yes, absolutely yes. When managed correctly as a specialized coworker, it made the work significantly faster, vastly easier, and incredibly more efficient. AI is not here to take your job, folks. It is here to take over the repetitive, grinding work so you can actually focus on the big picture.
So as we look toward 2026, you kind of have to ask yourself, will you ignore AI or will you learn to control it? The landscape is shifting so rapidly. As we've seen from this intense 7-day experiment, the winners of the future are not going to be the people who bury their heads in the sand and ignore these tools, nor are they the people who just lazily expect the machine to do everything for them. The winners will be the focused, adaptable individuals who learn to manage AI as a specialized, highly capable tool. Think about your own workflow today. Where are you asking AI to do too much, and where could you be using it as your ultimate coworker? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. Start practicing that control today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.